And talk about some of the other big foreign policy issues that were touched upon by the Russian president. Pavel Felgenhauer is a Russian defense analyst. He's joining us on the phone line now from Moscow. First of all, I want to talk about Syria. Very interesting comments, Mr. Felgenhauer, by Russia's president, saying that Russia's main concern in Syria is the fate of the country, not the position of Bashar al-Assad. What do you make of this at a time when a lot of folks around the world are saying that Russia may be finally changing its tack on Syria?
Russia is not changing its position on Syria. President Vladimir Putin didn't say anything new.
Is Russia changing its position on Assad, if not on Syria?
No, actually, Putin and the Russian government has been for a long time maintaining, formally speaking, that we are not concerned what happens to Assad, but we're concerned what will happen to Syria. So this is not new. And,
has the Russian president said this on the record, like he did today, before on the record, that the main concern for the Russians is not the fate of Assad, but the fate of the country? Has he said this before on the record?
Yes, he did, and many times that we are not tied with knots to the Bashar Assad, that he visited with the West more than he visited Russia. I mean, I've heard this from Putin before. This is not a new position. But the main thing that Putin was saying, he very much criticized the West and Arab regimes for the intervention in Libya that brought a lot of grief, and pressed that this should not repeat in Syria. So Russia and the Russian position is that there should be a negotiated solution that would allow orderly change in power, which will most likely involve a kind of coalition, apparently, between some parts of the opposition and some parts of the present regime.
Why then, Mr. Felgenhauer, are the Russians sending battleships to the Syrian coast for a possible evacuation of as many as 30,000 Russians as early as the end of this month? Why are they doing that?
Well, there's a small group of Russian ships, one frigate, and two landing craft that will go from the Baltic Sea. Again, that's some of a routine because such Russian small squadrons appeared in the waters of the Mediterranean. Apparently, right now, there are plans for a possible evacuation of Russians from Syria if the regime begins to finally collapse. But these plans are just plans for the time being. There's no real preparation happening for an immediate evacuation. And of course, no one knows how much actually Russians there are, because most of those who are considered Russian citizens